go down to the Jacksonville Jaguars. What county are they in?
Duval.
Okay, all right. So
Yes.
one more time, please.
Ask it again.
One more time.
Duval.
Okay. You know, Liam Coen, obviously the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are in the county of
Duval.
This particular takeaway here is tough, okay? Whenever you see this, it's tough. And it's hard not to say, this guy's got no chance to win.
None.
This guy, there's no way anybody's going to take him serious. There's no way any players are going to take him serious. But then I read an article, Liam Coen talking to Rick Stroud, who's a local beat reporter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, grew up in Tampa Bay, has covered the Buccaneers for a long time. Liam Coen talked to him, and obviously the exit of Tampa Bay was what it was. It got a little nasty, it got a little ugly. But he said he was talking to Baker Mayfield, who was in the Bahamas with the offensive line. I believe this is the next, if you go to the next one, please.
Don't have it.
Okay, so he was talking to Baker Mayfield in the offensive line whenever they're down in the Caribbean. And Baker Mayfield was basically like, you got to go take that job. What are you talking about, Liam? You got to go be a head coach. The offensive line were like, hey, you got to go do that. Baker Mayfield loves Liam Coen. The offensive linemen love Liam Coen. Mike Evans allegedly loves Liam Coen. Now, this is Liam Coen telling Rick Stroud this, but I don't think he would say this publicly unless he was going to get publicly outed by the boys. But it feels like his players enjoy the hell out of him, which is tough to understand, especially whenever we're watching him do all the things that he is doing in this rollout of this press conference. I think he looks like a goober.
Yeah. A little bit.
I think he looks like a goober. He's 39 years old. He's younger. He had some Louis Vuitton slippers on, basically, whenever he got there. He did the Duval thing. And then you look at his coaching history here. Here is all the stops he has had since 2010. Obviously, it's every year there's a change. 2010, he's at Brown. Then he's at Rhode Island. Then he's at Brown. Then he's at Massachusetts. Then he's at Maine. Then he's with the Rams for 2 years. Then he's at Kentucky. Then he's back to the Rams. Then he's back to Kentucky. Then he's at Tampa for a year. Now he's the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So obviously, as a 39-year-old, you're young. You're going to get a head coaching opportunity. People are going to question your experience and your resume. When everybody's questioning about his particular resume, is like, damn, does anybody want this guy to stick around, or does he just move on? Is it his decision, or is it the other place's decision? Because whenever he goes Rams, Kentucky, then he's at Tampa for a year. Then obviously they wanted him back. They gave him a contract to make him the highest paid coordinator of all time, they're saying. And then he goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's like, it's hard to not say this guy looks like he's going to suck as a head coach, especially whenever you watch the way he's handling himself in these press conferences. But players at Tampa loved him. LA liked him enough to bring him back twice. Sean McVay, obviously a guy who has had massive success as a young coach. I think from people that have been around Liam say he looks up to Sean McVay a lot. He tries to emulate Sean McVay a lot. So what I'm saying is let's reserve judgment on this guy until we see what his teams look like. But boy, it's hard anytime we see the video of him saying, Duval. It's hard to take that guy serious.
No doubt.
It is hard to take that guy serious, but I think we need to just reserve our judgment just for a little bit to see what he's able to do down there.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think about like the Kentucky Rams thing, like a few years ago, Kentucky had that kind of crazy run where they actually were a top 25 team. I believe he was the OC during those years. And then with Tampa, even last year, like Chris Godwin goes down, that offense could have easily kind of fell into a slump. Mike Evans also missed a few games with the hamstring. That's why he was pushing for the 1,000 yards at the end of the season. But they still kind of went on a little bit of a run. The Duval thing is going to be real hard. It's going to be tough to come back from that. But you listed a bunch of guys where they do have this opening press conference like, hey, look, I put my foot in my mouth. You know, maybe
I tried.
I was trying to kind of be funny. He has the whole selfie video. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, let's run that one. This one's even. This one's you tag this one with the Duval one, and it's like, thank God I'm not in this building with this guy. But once again, Baker, offensive lineman, Mike Evans, the people that have had to play for him, allegedly love him. Here's another video that hit the internet from Liam Coen's first day as a head coach as the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey guys, this is Liam Coen. Just touched down in Jacksonville.
All right.
Let's get this thing started off right here. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
No.
That's the social media team's fault, right?
That was a little better.
I mean, it looks like a goober there from the side angle. All the social media videos coming out of these coaches suck. Okay?
Yeah.
And once again, social media teams or people with social media degrees normally don't know ball. They get hired to run social media because people who are running the business are scared of social media, so they hire somebody that's younger that maybe has a social media degree, and they say, you handle it. There is a litany of social media teams that are absolute shite at their job. They know their ass, but they run up numbers, and the teams have no idea. It's not just in the NFL. This is in a lot of businesses. Now, you think about Ben Johnson's social media video, crop. This one, not necessarily the best. But I would like us to once again, because even as we're covering it right now, it's hard not to just jump into the fact and say this guy's going to suck. We have no idea if this guy's going to suck or not. And that is the matter of fact about these head coaching cycles.
I mean, I suppose, but I'm going to go ahead and just say this guy is going to suck.
Why?
I'm going to take that stance. You know what? I feel like I'm entitled to do that. I am going to do that. The difference is, like, with Sirianni, yeah, he looked like a moron, but everyone talks about Howie Roseman being, like, one of the best GMs in the NFL. Jeffrey Lurie's one of the best owners in the NFL. So, like, they had just won a Super Bowl not too long. Like, Philly is a team that knows how to win. Dan Campbell, definitely an outlier because Detroit had sucked for a long time, but he's a former player, and he got a bunch of former players on his staff, guys who bought in right away. Like, not only is this guy a big-time goober, obviously, and that's fine. That's not a big deal. Like,
It's Goober Tuesday.
It's Goober Tuesday. There are people who are like that, but we talked about this a little bit before the show. Like, who's he going to get for his staff? Like, this is way late in the process. Like, all the, great OC, DC, like, different position coaches, like, those jobs have been filled. Like, so it's kind of going to be on him. And then on top of that, you're going to get a guy who has 5 years of NFL coaching experience. And again, who knows how much these guys do with Sean McVay, because he is obviously a genius. Like, he's gotten a bunch of people jobs, but I don't know how much he's doing on the day-to-day. Like, that's Sean McVay's offense. Sean McVay's calling the plays. So we're going to go ahead and just give the keys to the goober.
Tampa was good.
Let him hire a GM. He was good at, but hey, you know what? This is a results-oriented bit. It's what have you done for me lately? People, if they go 2-15 next year, how many people are going to be saying, like, yeah, but he got Baker Mayfield to throw 40 touchdowns last year? They're going to bring up the Duval video, and they're going to say, we should have known from day one. This guy was a dipshit, and we should have torn up the contract right after he did this. There's a chance that's going to happen.
No sound.
No
Missed
sound.
it. Completely.
But you could
missed
hear it. You could hear it.
I mean,
yeah,
now
in
I
your
see
head.
his head.
Yeah,
I do hear
You know,
that.
yeah, you can hear it.
Duval.
I mean, you can kind of hear
Good pop.
You can hear the groans almost like, oh my God, what have we done?
Now, the
What have we
Duval
done?
song I heard potentially has a little different rhythm to it
Banger.
than the normal Duval. So I think he was just trying to get acquainted. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who might have a differing opinion than you, Ty.
Sure.
And maybe he'll have the same thoughts as me, because just like Shoddy, just like Ben Johnson, just like Aaron Glenn, just like anybody that gets hired as a head coach, you have no clue how this person's going to do. They could be the next
He could be.
Lombardi. Your thoughts on Liam Coen, the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, in his rollout yesterday?
So I've had some time to be with this clip, I think, because I've been watching the program. I watched you guys show this a little bit. I've seen all the hype. I guess I'm trying to take away, like, the positives from this thing, and what I see is a coach that is excited about his new job. That's the positive I found.
And he's very comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I think he's very excited. I think he's very excited, yeah.
You thought he was uncomfortable up there? Go ahead and run it.
I was uncomfortable. I was a bit uncomfortable.
Duval.
Oh, he's comfy.
Those eyebrows move, brother.
I think he was comfy. He looks around for the pop, too, huh? I know it.
Where my boys at?
I know my shit, dog.
Do you think he saw the success of the Siriannis and the MCDCs? Because they had some goofball moments in their opening pressers.
Well, McDaniel down there in Miami had some goofball moments as well, and it's not going as great, I think Gumpy would say.
Yeah, we're on our last leg here.
Okay, so there has been some opening press conferences that have not looked like the others, and there's been great success. And then there has been some red flags that have been like, We should have known
Yep.
whenever that happens. I'm not saying just McDaniel. We love McDaniel. We hope Miami turns it around. But that's one of the softest teams in football. And it's like, is McDaniel the guy that's going to end up getting them tough? I'm not 100% sure. Liam Coen is loved, though, if you listen to his words to Rick Stroud in the Tampa Bay Times, by Baker, the offensive line, Mike Evans, everybody that's played for him last year in Tampa enjoys him. Now, the exit from Tampa Bay didn't go as smoothly, I think, as a lot of people would have expected. He said time will heal all wounds. How easy is it to hire a staff at this stage of the coaching cycle? Legitimately, maybe Slowick, right?
Maybe.
We keep bringing up Slowick's name strictly because Slowick was fired so late in the coaching cycle. He's still out there. He's still available. But what are your thoughts on how Liam is actually going to do as a head coach? Or can we just not judge anything from yet?
I mean, I don't think we can judge anything. We don't. I think even Deba, you guys have talked about it. Like, we don't know. We have no. If they come out there in this presser and they absolutely kill it, they say all the right things, the team can go defeated and go 0-17 the next year still, and none of it really matters. So, I don't think we can take a whole lot off of this. We know the dude. He can draw guys open. He knows how to get players open. He knows how to run an offense. I like that part about him. But yeah, there's a lot more that goes into being a head coach, and we're going to see now because we know Jacksonville, they've been trying to figure it out for a while now.
What do you think about that particular thing right there that was pulled right off his Wikipedia about here? He's been in a lot of places. He's done a lot of different jobs. He's only 39 years old. He's young. He'll continue to grow. And he has some say in who the next GM is going to be, as Balky was fired very late in the entire process as well. What does this tell you, though? A lot of quick stops in a lot of places.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, you're always trying to move up and get promoted. Is that what's going on? I mean, he definitely has moved around. Most coaches do move around, but he is, especially going back and forth to the same spot a few times.
Yeah, well, I think that's good. He's welcomed back.
Yeah.
Right? I think
that's a good point. Yeah.
I think that's a good way to view it. He's been welcomed back to L.A. multiple times. He's been welcomed back to Kentucky. Not that Kentucky's ever really had that much success, a couple different times. So I think that is telling about the building and how they potentially feel about him.
It did get Bill Levis to be drafted as a first-round high quarterback, so that's something to look at there. And then they welcomed him back, and it didn't go as well. But, yeah, I mean, that is a weird situation to go Rams and Kentucky back and forth and back.
Same job title, too, going back and forth. There's people around him that say, he pulls a lot from Sean McVay. He's attempting to – I think everybody is trying to be Sean McVay. I think Liam will continue to find who he is as a head coach. I will say this, though, as just like a, real talk. If he's like that every day, it's okay. But if he's doing a front here – that is going to get sniffed out so quick. And if you lose 5-6 games, that shit's going to get ugly, loud, quickly. I mean, that is the real deal of the situation. Just as somebody who was bottom of the totem pole, but actually top of the totem pole, if you actually understand what a totem pole is, because I think the bottom of the totem pole is like the most important part because it's the base of the totem pole. But I'm talking about the metaphor in which meaning of no importance, but certainly being a part of the totem pole as a punter. Watching coaches try to find their way, even if it's assistant coaches, whenever you try to be something you're not, it works at the beginning. But inevitably the real you is going to shine through at a time. And once people think you're no longer you and you're a fake person, it's over. Especially at the head coaching job. You can talk about Urban Meyer down there in that same facility. You can talk about a lot of head coaches that have maybe said, this is how I'm going to be when I'm a head coach. And you're putting on like a costume. I'm a head coach. I'm a head coach. And then one day you're not going to do that. You're going to forget to do that. You're going to get tired. You're going to get caught not being that person. And an entire room, an entire building, an entire organization is going to go, this guy's fugazi. And once that happens, it's over. So if that's what Liam Coen is every single day, I'm excited to watch him. I'm excited to watch his team buy in, which Baker, offensive line, Mike Evans allegedly did last season, seemingly in years past has happened. So if that's how he is every day, cool. If it's fake, that'll get sniffed out quick by the locker room, and that'll end up being another Jacksonville Jaguars situation down there, AJ.
Yeah, he knows that. He has to know the situation going in, so I would assume that is who he is. And that's what we say all the time. Whatever you are, if you're authentic, I think players will respect it. They may think you're a terrible coach, but if you're authentic and that's really who you are and say this dude might be corny, he might be whatever, they still can respect the fact that you're consistent day to day and that's who you are and you're not acting like somebody else or acting like you think a head coach should be behaving. Like that's what players see. And we know like pro athletes are very skeptical people off the bat. Like they should be. I think it's a good quality they have. So you got to like prove to that room that you can help them win games, and then they'll do anything for you.
Locker room has a good sense of fugazi. Very good. It's phenomenal. And even if some people in the locker room don't, the other people in their position meeting room go, this guy's full of shit. And then it's like, yeah, he is, isn't he? And then you get through there. And you said that you assume Liam Coen knows that. He's not going to. There's been coaches that have been fake all the time. So let's not just assume that Liam Coen understands that. He might think he's being. I don't even want to get into it. It's tough to think that that's who that guy actually is.
I agree.
It is very tough.
It's a goofball.
He might be a goober.
I mean, sometimes you get excited, I guess. It's a dream job. That's what I'm trying to chalk it up to. Like, yeah, he's juiced. This guy's pumped. Also, is his office a fishbowl? When they walked into his office, it was full go. Like, there's no privacy anywhere there.
Yeah, I believe it's all glass windows. Let's assume there is some sort of
thing you can change.
Smoke.
Didn't he said this is definitely different. He said.
Yeah, and I think you said something about his dad, which is really cool to see. Like, that is a cool moment.
Yeah.
That is a dream moment for him. I'm very happy for him. I just hope he is a goober all the time, because if he's not, it's not going to work. Like, especially now, because all the players have seen all this. All the players have seen all this down there. And Trevor, all Trevor wants is a coach that's going to put him in a position to go win. All that team wants is a coach that's going to put him in a position to win. But also what they need is somebody to be themselves. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. Don't try to be a movie character coach. Be yourself, because you are who we are following. And if you don't even know who the hell you are, who the hell are we following, brother? And that's the biggest takeaway from a team building situation. So we don't know Liam. I don't know Liam. You don't know Liam. He's from Massachusetts?
He's from Rhode Island. Okay.
Similar area, right?
No, it is not. They're two completely different groups of people. They are both in New England, though.
But that's all I have to. Like Shoddy, I think Shoddy's been around for so damn long. Shoddy knows exactly who he is. Schottenheimer is going to be Schottenheimer every single day. Big Mike McCarthy, always Big Mike McCarthy. Some of these coaches are getting their first time opportunity. They don't know who the hell they're going to be, and that's an immediate loss before you even get into the seat. I'm not saying that's Liam. Yeah. I'm just saying he's going to have to be him all the time. And that is I think that's the biggest trait that you have to have as an NFL head coach. And let's go back to Tampa Bay offense coordinators getting head coaching jobs. Baker Mayfield might be the one-way trip to getting a head coaching job. David Canales. Obviously, always David Canales. Because whenever it goes terrible in Carolina at the beginning, that could have easily went two different ways. That could have went, this guy sucks, get him out of here. He benched Bryce Young, remember? Did all this shit. This guy's fake. This is it. Instead, the team stuck with him. Bryce stuck with him. And then at the end, they were kind of reaping the benefits of that entire thing. I think Canales knew exactly who he was, and I think the team responded and appreciated that, even through the turmoil of the crap. It's like when things are going good, everybody's good. But then whenever it goes bad, it's like that's when you find out who's who. If Liam's always like that, I think he's got a good chance. I think any head coach is going to have a good chance.
Yeah, I'm kind of with AJ. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And even who he is now, like he'll have to be a different version of that now being a head coach. You know what I mean? You're not just calling plays. You're not just connecting with the offensive players, with the quarterbacks, with the receivers, O-line. Now you got to set the standard. You got to set the message, the tone, the culture in that building day in and day out. So he's definitely going to have to be different, going to have to mature. But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt early on, and with everything that we've seen now, even with Ben Johnson, I feel like we saw more of Ben Johnson than we've seen him as a coordinator. Yeah. We're seeing now with Liam. So yeah, the players, hey, you're a goofball. But if you're a goofball that can draw up plays, that can get the best out of Trevor Lawrence and his offense, and that can have us rolling in the right direction, we're going to follow you.
Well, you mentioned it though, Pat. I think like the most, if they're gonna, because there's a good chance they lose early on. Like I suppose they could, win 5 games and like be in first place in the AFC South. But like that's the biggest credit to Dan Campbell is like they sucked for a long time at the start of his tenure, but he was the same guy and he never lost the locker room. You never heard anything coming out like, hey, this guy, like our worst fears are imagined. This guy is a big dumb dipshit. Like we're done playing for him. So we'll see. Like, I don't know how, you guys having been in the locker room, having been around coaches, like if you start 0-6 and things aren't going great, like, are guys still going to be pulling in that direction if this guy is just like a goofball weirdo, like it just... Hey.
Ty has no hope in this guy. Ty has given zero benefit of the...
and I didn't expect to do that coming in today. Kind of just came out and I was just like, you know what? Yeah, why not? But Duval, that was one of the... Oh, man.
Is that how he started? Was that his first word into the mic?
No. Yes.
Yeah. That was the beginning and the end of the press conference. That was it.
Yeah, and then the selfie video that social media team put together, that's a whole nother animal. And we've talked about how shitty some social media teams are. We're not talking about the Jags. We don't know the Jags social media team. And to be clear, the Jags social media team hasn't really had a chance to No winning teams, really, social media teams, have a chance to really showcase who they are, what they are, but some of these social videos have not done a lot of favors for a lot of these coaches either. Like Ben Johnson's worst video from his introduction was the social media video.
Yeah.
By far. The selfie video made him look like a goober. Made him look like a big
They don't think that, though. They obviously don't think that.
Who, the social media team?
Yeah.
Well, that's because they have social media degrees, and
They know.
they know.
It's great content.
All I ask for these teams, I understand the people that run businesses who are a little older might be scared of social media. Like, I don't know. I would never be able to figure that out. Let me hire somebody. Just get somebody that knows ball. Just one of the main questions should be, do you know ball at all? Got to know ball. We are very lucky that we get a chance to meet some people who've done pretty prolific things in the social media world, and they're asked to consult with like some NFL teams and stuff like that. And literally the questions they ask, like, hey, what should a social media team, let's say, for the New York Jets? What do you think the New York Jets social media team should be? The only thing you need is somebody that knows ball, that is operating that particular account, just knows ball. So they'll know not to put out a bad throw that could potentially bury the quarterback. They'll know not to put out a quote or something that they don't even know could inadvertently make somebody look bad. You just got to have people that know ball, which doesn't happen in social media a lot because a lot of the social media degrees are coming from people that have never been around of an NFL team, and then all of a sudden you get the let's ride shit from Russell Wilson and Denver Broncos that they are toting as a success. Look at the numbers we did in this entire thing. But instead you just lost all credibility for your quarterback. Your quarterback's getting killed and your team's getting killed. But the social media person is like, but look at these numbers.
Look at these impressions. Look at the impressions.
Yeah, exactly. So social media teams can certainly affect how fan bases and how national audiences feel about their team. And I don't think the old asses that are running the team understand that enough. I don't think that is something that's fully comprehended. And Ben Johnson's worst video was a social media video. Liam Coen's worst video was all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that does not mean he's going to be a bad coach, though. That does not mean Ben Johnson's going to be a bad coach. We must reserve judgment until we watch it, but let's never forget this.